We are doing our balance challenge. So welcome if there are any new members joining the challenge, because I know there's a few new people who have signed up. We are going to be doing a balance challenge for the next 10 days, and we're going to explore that a little bit today in our session. So find a comfortable standing position. And we're going to start off by just getting the body prepared for some work, for some balance. Start off with our shaking. So just nice and easy. And shaking is creating some vibration through the body. And you can shake however you feel comfortable, whatever state you're feeling at the minute. If you've just woken up, you might want to do a nice light, easy shake. If perhaps you've been out, maybe you've been running, maybe you've been walking, you can be a little bit more vigorous in the shake. But just go with what feels good for you at the moment, at this moment in time. Pay particular attention to the shoulders and the back. It's easy to just lock those shoulders out. So let the shoulders go, let the head go a little bit. And if you're comfortable, just tap. You can tap the heels into the ground, or you can just keep the heels on the ground and just feel that vibration coming through the body. So whatever works for you, we're getting the energy flowing, we're getting the blood flowing, we're mobilizing the joints, getting oxygen into the muscles. And then just slow it down and take a moment just to come standing with your feet about hip width apart. And if you've been following the class, you know we're balancing the minute we're standing up here. And there's 3 centers of gravity. The first one just underneath the belly button, in towards the spine, in this pelvic area here. Think of that as your body's center of gravity in a standing position. So if you just want to move that forwards and backwards, you can feel your alignment to gravity changes. If you move it forwards, you have to do more work to stop yourself from falling forwards. If you move it backwards, you have to do more work to stop yourself from falling backwards. So just balance that center of gravity over the contact with the ground. So there's balance number 1. This point in Qigong is called the lower Dantien. But as I say, quite logically, it's your center of gravity in a standing posture. Then come up to rib cage, go between your sternum here, so your breastbone here, the back of the body. If you practice yoga, you might think of heart center. So if this heart center is down here, balance completely changes. You have to use a lot more muscle internal energy to hold your body in that position. If you balance the heart center over the lower Dantien, or in Qigong, middle Dantien over the lower Dantien, it's a nice way of thinking about it, then you're creating this really good structure which is easy to balance. There's less work for you to do internally. And then the next heaviest part, just get the head balanced on top of the spine. So think of those 3 centers of gravity. Center of gravity of the head, it's a very heavy part of the body. Qigong upper Dantien, so it's very simple to remember, upper, middle, lower. We can't forget that one. You're literally balancing those 3 centers of gravity over each other. They're almost like floating. I don't like to think of it as stacking, because quite often we use the word stacking, we're just putting things on top of each other. And that suggests, just letting one light come in, that suggests that things are holding or stacked on top of each other. But think more of lifting and lengthening and allowing these 3 Dantiens to float on top of each other. So just check in with that. This is really important when we come to do a little bit more challenging balancing, because we want these 3 points connected. You'll notice the difference that makes. And then step out. Let's just do some spine enlivening, again, just to get these 3 points so they can line up nice and easy. And we'll start off just by rotating, just letting the arms relax, shoulders relax, and you can just lift the opposite heel off the floor. And again, the key is to keep lifting through the crown of the head. And explore the difference. If you lose that contact of those 3 centers of gravity, you come down here. That feels really awkward. Lean back, make sure you don't hurt your lower back by leaning back, but that feels really awkward as well. It puts a lot of pressure here in that lumbar spine. Keep tall and then feel how easy it is to allow that movement to flow. How much easier it is on the breath too. So it's all about creating strong structures. That's what balance is, creating a really good strong structure to allow movement, breath, energy to flow through that structure. Keep lifting and lengthening. Just letting the arms relax. Just breathing easy in and out through the nose. And then slow it down. And again, just take a moment just to check in. Go about hip width on the feet. Find those 3 centers of gravity. Balance. See if you feel a little bit taller. A really good visualization, again taken from Qigong, is connecting to the earth through the feet. So really feel those feet grounded and stable and strong, heels into the ground, and at the same time lift and lengthen. So you keep that upper body light and you connect crown of the head to the sky. So it's that connection of earth, because you're connected to the earth's energy, to gravity, and then keeping yourself lifted towards the sky so that we don't collapse down. So connect earth and sky. We'll do one more little spine enlivening practice. So take your feet again back to about shoulder width apart. A little bit more bend in the knees this time. So we're going to do our spinal breathing, if you like. So you're breathing in there, and then we're just squeezing the glutes, tucking the pelvis, breathing out. If you practice yoga, it's a bit like doing the cat-cow, but in a standing position. And a reminder, as always, with all of these movements, be comfortable in how you're doing the movement. Don't overstress, don't overstrain, don't pull and force any movement. Keep it nice and fluid. If the breath is smooth and fluid, then the movement will be smooth and fluid. And if you want to coordinate breath with this movement, you can breathe out as we come into that nice ball of flexion, and then you can breathe in as you extend. Or just breathe however you feel is natural. But the breathing is quiet, so we don't have to pull air into the body. Just allow the breath in and out through the nose. So we're just preparing the body for some fun balance challenges. Let's do a couple more of these. And then just bring the arms down by the side. Pop your feet together again. Go about shoulder width, just a comfortable standing stance. And again, just check in with how your body feels now. We've done a little bit of movement through the spine. Connect to the ground. Lift and lengthen through the crown of the head. And now from this position, the challenge for our 10-day balance challenge is to spend 20 seconds on each leg. That was a good point that Maureen made in the Zoom question and answer this morning. On each leg. So that's the only challenge, that's the only thing you have to do. But obviously we can make some more fun out of that. You can do some extra balancing things, but let's just practice the actual challenge. So we'll talk it through, make it really clear on how we can structure our body to take that balance on one leg. I'm going to mirror you. So first of all, use your left-hand side of the body. So really just support your body weight predominantly on that left-hand side. So before you even take the opposite leg off the ground, your mind tells your body, I'm strong and stable and I've got this really good structure through this left-hand side of the body. And then when you're confident in that, first of all, just start off by peeling the heel off the ground. So if you can see, I'm going to show you from the side now, and I'm doing it on the opposite side, but I've got my weight on one side and I'm literally just releasing this other side. So that is a really good starting point. So you've got a little bit of support or a little bit of stabilization through this opposite leg. So if you're comfortable doing that, let's just have a little explore with that. So balance on the left-hand side, peel the heel. So now you should have about 80–90% of the weight through this left-hand side of the body. And explore here the difference if you move those centers of gravity. So if you're leaning forwards or if you're leaning back, you feel you have to do more with the muscles in the body to actually to balance. But if you get those 3 points nice and aligned, then actually, wow, yeah, that feels really strong and stable through that one side of the body. So just spend a couple of seconds. We will time it in a minute when we go to the one leg balance, but let's just spend a couple of seconds feeling the strength down this left-hand side of the body, and this right ball of the foot is just helping to stabilize. And already I can feel my glutes kicking in. And then come back to balance on both legs. Take a moment to feel evenly balanced now, because you'll definitely feel this left-hand side of the body really working. A point Gillian made as well in the questions this morning is, what I don't want you to do is just lock everything. Go, oh, right, yeah, I can hold it, I can balance. So once you feel that balance, allow the body to soften into that body. Relax where you don't need any excess tension, because if we've created this really good structure, then you can allow the least amount of internal effort or the least amount of internal muscle power to hold you in that structure. That's what makes you efficient. That's what makes you more aligned. And that transfers into moving, into walking, into lifting, into squatting, into anything. Now let's balance on the right-hand side of the body. So first of all, let your brain tell that right-hand side of the body, right, I'm going to balance. I'm going to be really strong and stable on the right-hand side of my body. When you're confident that you've done that, just peel the heel. Just let that left-hand side be used just as a stabilizer. So you've got about 90% of the load down this right-hand side of the body. So if we're telling our body, if we're doing this slowly, our body is getting used to stabilizing first before you then go into the balance. And again, just a few seconds just to really feel strong, stable through this right-hand side of the body. And then come back to balance on both legs. Shake the legs out, have a little shake if you feel you need to, and move around if you need to move around a little bit. We don't want to become rigid. And then when you're ready, come back to that about hip width apart. And this time we're going to stabilize on the left hand side of the body and then pick up that right heel. So you're just bending the knee, picking up that right heel. And breathe. Make sure you're just breathing easy. And just go to the point where you feel you can breathe easy, you can breathe comfortably, you can be relaxed. You're still nice and tall. And you might feel a little bit of a wobble, you might feel a little bit of a shake. That's good because it's your body finding its natural balance. Watch that you're not locking out the knee. So it's very common just to go, right, I'm just going to hoik and lock out that knee. So make sure the knee stays soft. So I'll just show you, I'm not hyperextending and locking out my knee like that, but I'm not going into a single leg, almost like a single leg squat. I'm just keeping my leg straight, extended, with the knee soft. And again, balance those 3 points on top of each other. You will notice if you're leaning forwards or if you're leaning back, it's more challenging. So get those 3 points balanced and also use that lifting to the sky to help take the weight off, to take the load off, so that you're not collapsing down into that hip. And then when you're ready, just come back to balance. You will really feel that left-hand side of the body working nice and hard now for you. Let's go right hand side of the body. Same thing, don't rush it. So it's about preparing. Once you're prepared, everything balanced, pick up that left heel. Check in that the knee isn't locking, that you're lifting and lengthening, and that you're breathing easy. And the foot will move a little bit maybe. Your body will find itself coming back to balance. Allow that to happen. Relax. See if you can let go and relax of any areas where you don't need to hold tension. I don't need to hold tension in my fists. Don't need to hold tension in my face. I can relax my face. I can smile. I can breathe. I can relax my wrists. I can relax my shoulders. Where I need to be strong are these 3 centers of gravity connected. So that's my structure. And then come back to balance both legs on the ground. That's the starting point. So that's what I want to see for the 10 days every day. Get some pictures of it. 20 seconds on each leg. Do that in those steps as well. Really focus on the body being stabilized first. Prepare yourself. Let your brain tell your body I'm prepared, and then balance. If you just go to balance, your body will go, what am I doing? I'm going to have to find that balance. If it's a challenge to actually balance on one leg to start off with for 20 seconds, rather than use something to rest on, what I'd rather you do is just do that little sort of like kickstand. So you're using this opposite leg to stabilize. Now, you might want to pop the opposite leg out there or out the front or out the back, but just use that opposite leg to stabilize so that you've got the majority of weight through that, at the minute, left side, so you can relax the arms, you can relax the shoulders. So I'd rather that than you hanging on for dear life to cope for that 20 seconds. So it needs to be easy and effortless breathing and effortless balancing for the 20 seconds rather than, I'm doing this for 20 seconds. That's the starting point. Then when you get good at this, because you will do, is then we can start exploring different balances, because the whole point, if anybody of you did the squat challenge, will remember that the fun part of it, the much more fun, interesting part of it, was watching all of the creativity. So clock towers, beaches, hats, all of the, in the garden, in the dark, all of these things made it more fun. People were commenting on each other's challenges. So that's what I want with this as well. It's Easter coming up, so you could have an Easter bonnet on your head, or an egg on your head, or something like that. So be creative about how you are balancing. Right, let's give the legs a little bit of a shake out. How are we doing time-wise? So we'll throw in a few more balance practices that you can play around with. So the next one, again, about hip width apart on the feet. This one we have done before. Arms floating up. Let's just do the arm movement first. Arms float up, and then arms float down. So it's a bit like a bird flying or a crane. Arms float up, shoulders are relaxed, arms float down. And then bring some balance into this. So balance on the left leg, let your arms, knees float up as your arms float up, and then down, balance on the right leg. So you shift the weight, and this is a really nice coordination. This one we're lifting the knee rather than just bending the knee behind. The slower you do it, the more challenging it is. So what you could do is see if you could do 20 seconds for the whole balance on one leg. So let's just try 10 seconds each side now. So I'm going to count you down. Let's do it together. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the hard bit. 10. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And take a rest there. So there we did 10 seconds each side. So that might be something that you want to try doing 20 seconds each side. So can you come up for 10 and then down for 10? So have a little explore with that one. So that one you can play around with. There's another one which I quite like, is you step to your left and you bring up your right forearm. No, not a forearm, that's not your forearm. Your right arm there, parallel to your right leg. So it's almost like a march, but not doing opposite arm, opposite leg. So you come up to here, and then you step back down, soften in, so you can go into a little balance there, and then you come back up to here, and then you step back down. You can dip a little bit, back up to here. All those 3 points are in connection. So when you're here, I'm not doing this. So we're coming back to those 3 centers of gravity. Step back down. You're connecting and lifting up through the sky there. Step back down. Come up. Step back down. Somebody came down really quickly then. So coming down is slow. Don't just come down here. So come down, slow. Slow. I fell over there. Slow. This is the challenging bit. Come down, slow, 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 slow. Balance. Let's do a count of 10 again on this one. So I'll come back down first, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way through the movement. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 3, 2, 1. It's like doing a slow motion. 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do one more each side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice and tall. 4, 3, 2, 1. And stop there. Look, good. Remember when you're doing those, it's easy to go there, there, there. So I'm just getting from there to there. But the hard work is doing it really slowly. It's where you feel your body's really working. So remember, slow is strong, slow is powerful. Slow, slow, slow. Not there, there. We can do the quick stuff, but do the slow stuff first. That's where you're really building strength. You're building those neurological connections through the body. Let's do one more. How are we doing? We'll do the kick. This is quite a nice one. So we'll come up and then arms cross and then just kick out. So I'm straightening my leg, flexing my foot, just stretching the hands out there. And then step back down, arms cross. So I'm in a little bit of a squat here. I come up on that leg and then I kick out on the opposite leg. So nice and easy. Watch that you're not leaning back. You don't have to kick high. I can't kick high. Just kick where you are getting that hamstring nice and strong. Stretch out the hands. Soften down, balance, kick out. Down. I'm crossing the foot that I'm kicking, the hand that is in front of the other of the wrist is the foot that I'm kicking out. So I'm kicking out there. If I'm kicking now with my right foot, if I'm mirroring you, my right hand is in front and then I'm kicking out. Going into a little squat there, coming tall, kicking. Come back down, balance, tall, kicking. Good. Looking good on Zoom. Nobody's fallen over yet. Can't see on Facebook, so hopefully nobody's fallen over on Facebook or YouTube. Kicking. One more each side. Balance. Kick. Balance. Kick. It's great for stretching out the back of the leg and then come back to standing there. Bring the feet together. The ultimate balance, which I really love at the end of any session, is just popping your hands just on that lower Dantian area, just below the belly button on your lower abdominals. If you are comfortable, just closing your eyes. And this is where you allow your body just to let itself come back to balance. The body will unwind itself. So you'll feel the feet, the ankles, lower legs, soft knees, thighs, hips. Strong and stable through your lower body. Connected to the earth, connected to the ground. And then just work your way up the spine. So nice, light lengthening of the spine, relaxing the shoulders, shoulders drop and relax. Just lifting the crown of the head towards the sky. Bringing attention to the breath, so the air in the nostrils is a really clear physical sensation for the breath. Just allow the breath to be natural, and each breath you're just bringing all that fresh oxygen and energy into the body. Just easy, soft, rhythmical breathing. In Qigong, this is called bamboo in the wind. Really strong bamboo, but has that flexibility to move with the energy around it, the energy of the wind around it, the energy of the air around it. And then at the top of the next in-breath, just open your eyes if you had your eyes closed. Bring your awareness back into the room around you. Step back out to a comfortable standing position. Have a little shake if you need a shake, or a little bit more of a stretch, whatever you feel your body needs. And there are some great little balance practices. So the foundation that I want you to work on is 20 seconds balancing on each leg. So there's 20 seconds on this leg, there's 20 seconds on that leg. So that's the minimum you have to do. Do that every day for 10 days. Post in the Facebook group. You can be creative with that. As I say, get your Easter eggs out this Easter. If you're into Easter eggs, your Easter bonnets on. Be outside. Be safe, obviously. Please don't go anywhere that you're going to fall over. But if you've got, if you're out in the woods, if there's a log that you're comfortable balancing on, that's great. You can practice that. My challenge is this, because I haven't used this as much. So I'm going to be balancing on this bar and practicing my 20 seconds balancing on this bar. And I haven't done way enough of that. You could find a little bit of wood or the edge of a curb or something like that to balance on. Once you're confident in those 20 seconds and you're feeling really confident, strong, safe, then explore some of these different moves, or some moves you might want to make up yourself. Challenge yourself a little bit more. Post that on Facebook as well. It's all about having fun, being safe, but actually improving as well, improving your balance. Thank you for your time and attention. If you've got any questions, do send any questions to me. You can email me or pop it in the Facebook group. In the meantime, have a fabulous Easter, because there's no Lunch and Learn tomorrow, no classes this weekend, so I'm having a rest. But I'll see you on Tuesday for the breath work. Have a great Easter, have a fabulous time. Thank you again, everybody, for joining, and I'll see you all next week. Take care. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Thank you all. Have a good